Hello, everybody. This is Karni Zor. Happy New Year. 2023 has officially started, and we're going to look at the chart of the coming year with some explanations about where the planets are and what they say about our lives. Are you ready? So let's share the screen so where we can all see together the chart of 2023, and let's talk about what we are seeing. So all my astrology students already know, and I hope most of you know, that the charts I work with are astronomically correct. Therefore, they're a bit different than what most astrologers use, but I find them very, very, very accurate. And for those who don't know anything about astrology, let's say I give a short explanation about what it is that we're seeing here. So we're seeing here the chart of the skies today. You can see the zodiac, all the signs, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, etc. And inside you can see the celestial bodies of our solar system, like the Sun, Venus, Mercury, Pluto, Saturn, and where they are positioned according to the astrological zodiac. Now, when we're doing an annual reading, we take a look at the distant planets because the sun, of course, from how it looks if to us from Earth, moves very rapidly every day, 1 degree. Venus, Mercury as well. So there's lots of changes in the moon, Mars, the sun, Mercury, and Venus. But the important planets to look at when we're looking at a long lasting forecast, a yearly forecast, would be the more distant planets: Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, Neptune, Uranus. These planets move very, very slow. So they will stay in one place for 1 year. And it's very rare that they actually change their position. So everything to do with these distant planets, slow moving planets, is very, very major. Not it talking about, a bad week or bad emotions that can pass by, but more of the worldwide affairs. And these are the planets that we are going to focus on today. So let's say something very, very interesting. First of all, we see that Pluto has just entered the realm of the diamond, or the sign of Capricorn. Saturn is entering Aquarius, or the realm of the waterfall. Neptune and Jupiter are entering the realm of the lake, or the sign of Pisces. And for those who know a bit of astrology, this is absolutely rare and unique. Why? Because Pluto is a very, very slow planet. It only shifts from one sign to another every 20 years. So to have Pluto shift to a new sign is absolutely rare, is absolutely crucial, and we need to talk about it. Saturn shifts into another sign every 2.5 years. It's not that rare, but it does happen these days. Neptune only moves into a new astrological sign every 14 years. This is also very, very rare. Jupiter moves quite fast. And to see three major planets like Pluto, Saturn, Neptune all together shift into a new sign, for each one, it's rare to happen, but together for them to happen, the statistics are very against that happening. Then we can see that something very, very unique is going to happen during 2023. And the analogy is like a safe. When you put the right knots in the right place, and suddenly something clicks. So this is definitely the feeling. Three major planets shifting into new signs. It's a time of change. It's a time where something clicks and something new happens, and we do need something new. And just to say that all the events of 2020, which was a very astrological unique year, and of course had its impact upon us with everything that happened during the last 2 years, happened when Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter were all together in conjunction somewhere here in the sign of Sagittarius, or the astrological realm of flexibility, which is the name I gave the realms. And it's really interesting to see that Pluto moves very, very slowly, Saturn a bit quicker, Neptune runs away. And now these three that were together and created the huge conjunction of 2020 and all the worldwide impact is now separated into three different signs. So this is also a time of change, a very, very different time than 2020. So let's take a look now at each of these signs, a Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, and the planets in them, and what that tells us about life. So let's start with Pluto because it's absolutely crucial and important. Pluto is the planet of transformation, of huge, huge, huge changes. Not only the Pluto shifts now into a new astrological sign, it also just passed the very important line. If you can see, this is the 12 o'clock of the chart. It's called the midheaven. It's a very important time. It's a place that talks about maturity. When we talk about a chart of a person, it's a place of a person finding their individuality, maturity, growing up. And I think that this is a huge change that happens now in the whole world. And I think that from a time of being like a teenager, enjoying life and everything, suddenly maturity hits, responsibility hits, something very crucial has transformed already and changed. And now we're heading into a time where this change is happening. Now, if you know the classical charts versus the sidereal charts, which I use, which is the new astrology, you'd know that in classical charts, Pluto entered Capricorn already at 2008. And this happened with huge bank falls and the economic changes. But this was the classical chart. The chart I'm working with, the new astrology chart, the sidereal chart, doesn't talk about just mundane things happening. It talks about the option of people to evolve. It talks about personal development. It talks about our options, what we can do with things. And with that, Pluto now allows us to build new templates, to build new maturity, to be more responsible. It's a difficult time as we can see it from the world, and it calls for us to be more responsible, to build long lasting things, to build new templates. I think that in the last 2 years, we saw that many things collapsed, but the things that collapsed are things that weren't aligned with what the future needs or with real things. We had a crazy economic, we had education systems that are not relevant. Things now are really dissolving and something else can be built during this time. Pluto is a very, very slow planet, so it starts a 20-year process these days. Let's go on to Saturn. So Saturn is also a very important planet, and it enters the realm of the waterfall or the sign of Aquarius. And it's very interesting because Saturn is the ruler of Aquarius. They actually go together astrologically. And I'll already say that Neptune and Jupiter are the rulers of Pisces. So something very odd and amazing is happening here, where all the planets actually go to their natural houses, to their natural locations. This is also very, very unique to see. Now, Aquarius talks about the personal individuality, the original signal, one's own quest, one's own original signal, the purpose of life, what we need to bring to the world. And Saturn there also talks about kind of a maturity, saying, hey, this is the time to give commitment to what you're here, to your life purpose, to your destiny, and be very, very committed. Saturn talks about commitment. And Uranus, we'll talk about it later here, is also telling us about the fact that each person now needs to realize their own destiny, their own life purpose, their own quest, and with that to be very responsible to actually do it. So again, it's a time of maturing. It's a time of realizing what our priorities are. It's a time of realizing that each one of us is responsible for the future. So there is something very grounding and calling for us to be in the place we were meant to be, in the stars these days. So let's jump ahead also to Uranus. Uranus, together with Saturn, is also Aquarius's ruler. Uranus has been in Aries already for about 5 years. It doesn't do any interesting movements, shifts this year, but this year the true node conjuncts to Uranus, and this is very important. So, what is the true node? The true node is the karmatic point of the chart, and it shifts every year against the zodiac, which is unique and rare. It's the point of eclipse, it's not a celestial body. And this year it conjuncts to Uranus, and it really amplifies the Saturn in Aquarius kind of thing of this is the time to stand with what you are supposed to do, with your vocation. This is the time to be responsible, to bring your original signal to the world, with the need of building new templates here in Pluto. It's very, very serious. It's a wake-up call. It's an individual wake-up call. And let's continue to Jupiter and Neptune. So again, the odds of Jupiter and Neptune in conjunction, this only happens once every 12 years. But Jupiter and Neptune in conjunction in Pisces only happens once every, I think, oh, how much is it? Like 144 years, which is 12 times 12. I'm sorry for my mathematics, so check that. But it's about 144 years. And this is absolutely unique. So the sign of Pisces, Neptune, Jupiter, talks about two things. First of all, it's the connection to nature. And the second is the connection to the unseen worlds, which means to our intuition, to the spiritual forces around us, to inspiration, to music. And these are huge, amazing, amazing things that also bring in some lightness into the heaviness of 2023 and the need really to be on our vocation, to be devoted, to be serious. Now, let's see what can give us the real nourishment in order to do that. And this would be Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces, or the realm of the lake. So the coming year is all about reverting back to nature, going to nature. And this is something that we can see all around. People are moving from the cities, people are going back to nature, leaving behind things that are not accurate anymore. And it's a healing possibility to be close to nature and to be with plants that heal us, with the sea walking on it, just to be with nature, just to see the green. This is a huge change from the 21st century and the dynamics and the pressure. So you will start to see many people just leaving, the crazy pressure of modern life and looking for nature, if it's to live there or maybe just to go there, in a weekend and get enhanced from nature, which is amazing, which is a very good source of healing these days. And we have the fact that Neptune in the sign of Pisces talks about intuition, the connection to the unseen worlds. This is another thing to remember at these times, that we're not alone. We're surrounded by unseen worlds that want to help us. We're surrounded by inspiration, by intuition. So a good nutrition for these times would be, first of all, going into arts, music, dance, whatever, gives you the inspiration and heals you with that, because Chiron is also there, the planet of healing. But also, it's remembering that whatever we are doing, we're doing together with the unseen worlds. We're partners in that, and really to allow not the brain to take control of things, but the intuition, and to remember that yes, we're heading towards a very difficult time where there is a lot of personal responsibility, and each one of us is called to do their thing, but we are not alone in that. We can be nourished from Mother Earth, from nature. We can be helped by the unseen worlds. We can relax and follow our intuition, and instead of thinking, oh, this is going to be a very, very difficult thing, it can actually be a very smooth and flowy way of looking at things and doing things. So this is 2023 and some insights into that. I hope you are taking some of it into you. Please share this video with friends. You can comment, you can ask questions. If you're interested in learning astrology, of course, you can do that on my site, on my astrology school. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Till soon. Bye bye.